They called him invisible. Just another shadow on the streets, forgotten by the world. But what they didn't know was that this man carried a brilliance that could outwit even the sharpest minds. And one night, when the cruel came hunting for the weak, he would rise with nothing but a battered chessboard and a mind sharper than any blade. This isn't just a game. This is survival. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see people forever. The winter air bit through the city, the sidewalks slick with frost as strangers passed without so much as a glance at the men seated by the lamppost. His name was Marcus Hale, once a promising scholar, but now reduced to torn shoes, a ragged coat, and a cardboard sign that barely held up in the wind. But beside that sign, there was always a chessboard. The pieces were mismatched, some wood, some plastic, and a few bottle caps standing in for pawns. Yet every day, Marcus set it down like a ritual. He'd whisper to the board, almost reverently, arranging the pieces as though they were sacred. Most people ignored him. Some sneered, others muttered about wasted potential. But every now and then, a curious passerby would sit across from him. And Marcus never lost. Not once. His mind was a fortress of strategy, his moves sharp, deliberate, and deadly. He'd smile gently after each checkmate, not with pride, but as if to say, "See, I still matter." But surviving the streets wasn't about chess. It was about enduring hunger, the biting cold, and worst of all, the predators who fed on the vulnerable. Marcus saw them often, groups of young men who prowled the sidewalks, mocking, stealing, sometimes hurting those who couldn't fight back. And though Marcus kept his head down, his heart burned every time he saw the helpless beaten. He knew he couldn't fight them with fists. But perhaps, with his mind, he could. That chance came one night. Marcus was hunched under the bridge, sheltering from the rain, when the laughter of cruel voices cut through the storm. A group of local thugs were cornering an older homeless man, knocking his few belongings into the gutter. "Got anything for us tonight, old man?" one of them sneered. Marcus's chest tightened. His hands trembled as he clutched the worn chessboard. For years, he had been silent, invisible, surviving. But tonight, he couldn't. Not when someone weaker was being hunted. So Marcus stood. His voice shook, but it carried. "Play me." The bullies turned, confused. Marcus lifted the chessboard, raindrops sliding off the pieces. "If you win, you take what you want. If I win, you walk away." They laughed. They jeered. A homeless man challenging them with a game. Ridiculous. But the leader, cocky and cruel, smirked. "Fine. Old man wants to play chess. Let's humiliate him." And just like that, Marcus sat in the rain, his life, and the safety of another, balanced on 64 squares. The first few moves were sloppy, the thug shoving pawns forward without thought. His friends laughed, confident that Marcus was just another delusional street rat. But Marcus's eyes sharpened. Every move he made was precise, deliberate. The knight leapt forward. The bishop cut across the board like a blade. Within minutes, the thug's smugness cracked. His king was cornered. Check. Marcus's voice was calm, almost gentle. The laughter from the bullies faded into silence. Their leader's face flushed red as he scrambled, desperate to escape the inevitable. Marcus leaned forward, his soaked hair clinging to his forehead, his voice steady now. "You treat life like a game you can cheat. But every choice has consequences. And you're about to learn that. One final move. Checkmate." The king toppled, and with it, the bully's arrogance. His friends stared in shock. The silence was heavier than the storm around them. Marcus didn't move to gloat. Instead, he gathered the pieces, holding them like old friends. "You lost. Now leave him alone." For the first time, the bullies obeyed. They backed away, muttering, shaken by a man they thought beneath them. Word spread. In the days that followed, more people came, not bullies, but strangers curious about the homeless men with the chessboard. Some sat down to play. Some just came to watch. And slowly, Marcus was no longer invisible. One day, a woman in a crisp suit approached him. She watched silently as Marcus dismantled yet another challenger, his mind weaving brilliance from chaos. Then she smiled. "You shouldn't be here," she said softly. "Not on the streets." My name is Dr. Lang. I run a community center. We could use someone like you." For the first time in years, Marcus's eyes filled with tears. Not because of pity, but because someone finally saw him, not as a shadow, but as a man of worth. In a world that often overlooks those who suffer, Marcus proved a truth we must never forget: greatness doesn't belong to titles, wealth, or appearances. It can rise from the most broken places, from the cold streets, from the people we walk past every day. Chess was never just a game to him. It was survival, dignity, and a reminder that no one is truly invisible unless we choose not to see them.